Ask most traders what their biggest fear is and they say losses. But here's the truth. Losses is not really the problem. What they will tell you is that is even more of a big problem than losses. What destroys many traders is not losses, it is doubt. Now, when I say doubt, I mean a doubt in your strategy, a doubt in your setup, and a doubt in yourself. And in binary options, as you already know, doubt doesn't just cost you money, it costs you consistency, it costs you a lot more. It costs you your entire edge, and it also costs you your confidence. In this video, I'm going to show you how doubt is more costlier or more deadlier than losses, and how by simply mastering your confidence, you can flip the script. Now, let's get into one thing straight. Losses is part of the game. I'm sure you already know this as a trader. And no matter who you are, no matter your strategy, you are simply going to lose. It is just as simple as that. That being said, you need to understand that losses doesn't stop focused traders. What really stops traders is not losses, it is how they react to that loss. In this sense, you will not understand why one single loss leads to hesitation, another loss now leads to fear, and the third loss is now leading to a full-blown crisis. And from that crisis on, you'll realize that they stop trading the market. What they are now doing is trading from fear and, of course, doubt. And what now happens at the end of that is that now leads to their inability now to read the chart. They start reacting to pains. Now, it will interest you to know that doubt shows up in many forms. And shortly, I'm going to be listing out some of the ways that doubt do show up. And the first one is skipping good setup because you are scared it may lose. A lot of us are guilty of this very fact, and of course also changing your entry because of course you don't believe it will play out. That is another form that it does show up. Switching strategy every 1 to 2 days is also a sign of doubt showing up in your trading as well. And also understand that depending on indicators every single day without actually developing a strategy that is going to be suitable for you is also a form that doubt does show up as well. Now, do you know the interesting thing? What doubt actually does is crazy. You know, it makes you act out of fear 90% of the time when you should just be walking away. And this right here is the reason why it makes you lose trade. It takes your money even without you knowing, and by robbing you of the trade that you should have taken, because now you see a setup and you don't want to enter because you are scared. Let me give you a real life story. When I started trading, I had this strategy that works. Of course, it helps me win trade. Of course, no strategy is 100%, but this strategy right here helps me win trade. And then one day I took 2 trades and I took 2 losses back to back. And then guess what happened? I started doubting the setup. Now, the next setup played out and I ignored. I didn't lift a finger. I didn't take a trade. Guess what happened? That became a win. And then another setup played out again and I didn't lift a finger. Guess what happened? That setup also played. It was a win. And then guess what happened? I became frustrated. And as a result of that frustration, I took a revenge trade. This time, I increased my trading amount and the trade was completely off setup. Now, guess what happened? It was a loss. I blew my account on that very day. That day cost me, not because the strategy failed. No. That's not why that day cost me. It cost me because I failed to trust the process. That day taught me that it is not just about the losses. It taught me that when you watch trades playing out, when you didn't do anything, when you didn't enter a trade and it wins, that pains you ×2 than a loss will do. Let's break this down logically. A loss may cost you 5% of your balance. Let's just use that as an example. But do you know what that will cost you? That will cost you missed setup every single day. That will also cost you over trading. That will cost you chasing the market. That will cost you emotional entry. And that will cost you and eventually makes you blow your account. And I'm not even overemphasizing this. The interesting part is that doubt kills momentum. And if you're already a trader, you already know that in binary options, momentum is every single thing. And you only need 2 to 3 perfect setup every single day. So if you missed out on any one, you have simply cheated yourself. So when doubt holds you back, you personally sabotages your own edge. So how do you now eliminate doubt? How do you do that? Let us quickly break it down. Let me give you some ways that you can eliminate doubt in the financial market. You need to back test until you are bored. All right. You need to have confidence from seeing something happening and over again. That means you need to test your strategies and get confident that it does work. And of course, you need to stick to one strategy. You need to stop running from one strategy to another. Master one tool. Don't keep jumping from one tool to another. And of course, the third one is you must journal your trade. Journaling is also very important. It helps you keep track of your winning trade. It helps you keep track of your mindset, and it helps you keep track of your losing trade, thereby giving you the opportunity and the chance to refine them and get better. Of course, you need to also understand that the fourth one is setting rules that you must follow religiously. It is very important to have rules in trading, and this is very important as well. And of course, the last one is accepting loss and using them as feedback. Don't use losses as the market's hitting you or something bad is happening. Just take loss as feedbacks and use them to better yourself. You have to take them personally and treat losses professionally. All right, that is very important. Now, you must understand that there is no way you can eliminate losses in the game. No matter how professional you are, you can never eliminate losses. But you can eliminate the mindset of fear. How can you do that? You can do that by building a system that works for you and trusting this system 100%. That's how you build trust, and that now will replace and eliminate doubt in your trading. And putting this together, you will not understand that you are not in fight with the market. You didn't lose that trade because the market hates you. You are in fight with your own emotions. How are you reacting to those losses when they come? That right there is the resource. You are in a fight with emotions, and talking about emotions, you must understand that doubt is one of the most dangerous emotions that you must conquer. Because here is one thing it does. Doubt wear the marks that makes it look like it is safety. It is not safety. Don't be deceived. It tells you, don't take this trade, you will lose. No, that is not what it is. It is actually disguising itself as safety, but in reality, it is holding you back. Understand that when doubt comes to you with the mask of trying to protect you, recognize it instantly. It is not what it is. In reality, what you are seeing right here is fear, and fear has no place in trading. Understand that real traders will always trust their plan, and they take trade when the setup is there. Whether it's a win or loss, they know they are at peace because they did everything they had to do. So if there's one thing you must remember in this video, remember that doubt will cost you more than losses will do. And you must learn to trade the right way. You must learn to use losses and take losses with discipline, and you must also learn to trust the process. This is how you become a trader that most people pretend to be. So if you find value in the video, make sure to hit the like button. Of course, we'll be dropping more of these beautiful videos and trading and teaching you how to build an edge that will change your life forever. So I will see you guys on the next one. Make sure to also subscribe so you don't miss out on the bell icon, and I'll see you guys on the next one.